Was this your first reaction to Blender? If so, I am here to help. This is a guide to Blender, and I'm going to help you get your skills to this level. And soon, you'll be going and looking like a professional. To get into your Blender workspace, click on the outside or click on General. Once you are in, you can move around with the middle mouse button, Shift, middle mouse, or the scroll wheel. And then to move around freely, Shift tilde, which is the squiggle, that will allow you to fly around. And then by using your mouse, you can speed it up or slow it down. You can also use Shift to move around this way. The camera, to look through it, you click this, and it'll put you right into the camera. If you have a numpad, you can click 0, and it'll be straight into the camera that way. This is how you move around in Blender on a Mac, because the trackpad is much different than how you would move on a PC or mouse. So 2 fingers, move around. This is how you move around the XYZ axis. Hold Shift and use those same controls to pan. Now how do I zoom in and out? That is going to be Control or Command. Scroll by scrolling up and down, you can zoom in and out. Those are going to be the controls for the Mac, as far as I know of. So those are the quick, simple controls on how to move around. Now, this is your workspace for the files. So you have collections. You can create a new collection and name it whatever you want. And you can move objects into folders. This is going to be how you organize. So once you have those controls mastered, you are on to the next step of the tutorial or guide. And that will be, how do I make this guy move? It's real simple.
A few moments later.
Click your object, go over here, and click move. Move the object. And congratulations, you have moved the first ever cube in your world. It's going to be moved, so if I select the object and hit G, I'll move it. But if I need it to be precise, I hit G, and then you click X, Y, or Z, depending on where you want to move it. You have your rotate. This is going to be how you rotate objects. And then to rotate it is R, and then you use X, Y, or Z, and move it so. And then you have your size tool. This is how you say, I want this side to be longer, or this side. If you want the cube in general, you hold on the white, and you go up and down. Your transform is going to be your move, rotate, and scale all built into one. So you can rotate, move, scale. You have your annotate. This is how you make markings, arrows, numbers. That was a terrible 2. Numbers. You have your measurement tool. This is how you measure the cube. This is going to be your add. Hold it, and you'll be introduced to your different objects. You can drag, click, and then move, make an object. You can build off of objects. This is going to be your anchor. So that's going to be this little guy here. You can move him around and do whatever you want. I try to keep him where he is, because when you bring an object into this world, it will always go to this guy. The way you get this guy to go back is by holding Shift S, and you're going to do cursor to world origin. You click this, and he's right back. Once you learn how to move around the world, and you know how to move your object, like so, you are now ready to learn the Blender software. Now, the question you guys might be asking is, how do I make this cube a different color? Well, I'm glad you asked. That is going to be simple. Under the material, which is found when you click on the object, you can go here and use this color wheel to change the color. But hey, I don't see the color changing. Why not? And you will click on either 4 of these. So your first one is going to be your wire. This is your solid. This is going to be your material. So this is where you go to find the color. This up here is your shading or your rendered view. This is going to show you what your texture will actually look like. You have the light in the camera. You can go into your camera to see how it will look. Now, once you want to render an image, how do I do so? This is where you format your video. So it's going to be your output. It will always default to this. So right now I have it set to PNG. So if I go over here and hit render, right? Just hit render. Now to do a video, you will go up here and do animation. And I'm going to go to the end frame and drag this down or click 75. This will only render this amount. I usually leave some dead space so it's not ending right as it stops the animation. You have your animation. Now what do? Before you click the animation, do go down here. If you hit render animation, you're going to be greeted with an animation of every single frame. It will render every single image into a folder. So you'll go down here, choose FFmpeg, and then go down to encoding and choose what you would like. So I usually use MP4 or MPEG-4 as my video. So always make sure to change this so you don't get a folder of 200 frames of photos or 500 or however much. So you'll go up here, you hit render animation, and it will play the animation back. Well, that was a lot to take in, but I hope you enjoyed this video. So please make sure to like and subscribe, and remember that Blender is like an airplane. There's too many controls.